Oxford TCC is an official language certificate based on the Common European Framework of Reference for Languages that assesses the 5 main English language skills: use of English, reading, listening, writing, and speaking. Its final objective is to certify candidates in these skills at any level from A1 to C2. In addition to being an official certificate, the Oxford TCC helps candidates identify their areas of improvement through its 3-step process. Diagnostic. Its main objective is to detect the candidate's initial English level within the CEFR. Mock. Verifies the candidate's English level obtained in the diagnostic and also provides practice before the final exam. Certification. It certifies the candidate's English skills in the level obtained. It includes a speaking examination which is carried out by native English speakers. What are the benefits of having the Oxford TCC in your school? The price is accessible. The cost is the same for all levels. Examination dates are available all year round. The school decides when to apply the exams. The digital results are sent 5 days after taking the exam, and candidates will receive the exact percentages obtained in each of the skills tested. The physical copy of the certificate is delivered 3 weeks after finalizing the process, including the speaking assessment. The whole process takes place within the school facilities. The Oxford TCC is the best option for certifying the English level of students and teachers alike.
Okay, I'm gonna share another short video and then we will start.
Do you know the game Risk? Risk is a strategy board game with the ultimate goal of conquering the world. Gear is very similar. Gear is the world that each student tries to conquer by completing English exercises. Gear is the new digital platform that includes exercises based on the Common European Framework of Reference for Languages, designed to improve the student's English level. It includes practice exercises for the entirety of the school year. You can see the students' progress with personalized and thorough reports. Much more interactive platform. Recap section where students are able to retake the exercises that were the most challenging for them. The teacher has full control of the user's progress on the platform and their calendar. More exercises, more content, and much, much more. Do you want to conquer the world of English?
So, Lorraine, just give me some more minutes just to share another video and then we are ready for your conference. Okay, So good afternoon, everyone. I am Federica Antoniani, a BO sales representative. Today it is with my greatest pleasure that I introduce you to Lorraine Castañares. She pursued a master's in education and a bachelor's degree in philosophy, and she's currently a college counselor in Mexico City. She has been involved in the world of education for the last 20 years. And today she will present a very interesting topic entitled Technology in the Classroom, Embracing the Way Forward. So then there will be like a session with question and answer so that you can interact and share your viewpoints. And now I will give the floor to you, Lorraine. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Federica. So hi, everyone. I would like to extend my gratefulness for having you here today, and I hope you like my presentation. I'm going to do it a little bit old style. I'm going to be talking, and then at the end we can share and have a dialogue about it all. Okay, so welcome everyone. Okay, here we go. Just a second. There we go. So first of all, I'm very happy to be here in this international summit, and I'm going to tell you a little bit more about myself. Federica has already told you the basics, but I think it's going to be very important that you know a little bit more about me. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's see. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Technology in the classroom, embracing the way forward. So the first thing you should know about me is that I'm from Mexico. Can everybody see my screen correctly? Yes? Yes. Does everybody have a Mexican flag? Okay, good. That was like, so yes, the first thing you should know about me is that I'm from Mexico, that I work at Escuela Sierra Nevada. I've been working there for almost 14 years. And this is what my very limited experience with technology is. So I have a Microsoft Teams training for 40 hours, and I'm taking a teacher development course called, and the model 1 was technology in the classroom. So it's a little bit of a warning that I'm an amateur regarding technology in education, and aren't we all? So I'm confessing this at the very beginning of the presentation. So I think it's going to be interesting to listen to the point of view of somebody who's an amateur. And I'm giving you the name of my teacher from the development course. Her name is Holly Lutgate. And if you're looking for an expert, you can you know, contact her. She has the best possible ideas. So I'm an amateur. So why do I say I'm an amateur? Well, I was born in 1976, which makes me Generation X. And so that means that I studied philosophy at UNAM and without the internet. So that means that I finished my graduate studies without ever using the internet. I think Plato would be very proud of me because I didn't use the internet. So that gives you an idea of where I am in terms of technology. I am very fortunate to have lived these two worlds, one in which you didn't rely on the internet all the time, and well, the world we live in today. So something happened. The first week of April 2020, I am suddenly bombarded by the reality of having to learn how to use all of these platforms. Okay, so as you can see, we have 7 platforms here. I learned how to use them all in 1 week. When I say I learned how to use them all, it means I kind of survived through meetings and webinars, and you know, even I had a party with my friends through one of these platforms, and I even had to learn how to do that. So for a person who was born in 1976 and finished undergraduate school without the internet, this was quite challenging. So this is how I want to look this is what I want to look like in front of the world, like this woman who has a computer and is calm in the transition with her book. I even dressed today, if you can see me, I dressed in red so that I would look like that woman. So very calm, but the truth is I look more like this, you know, running away from it all, a little bit overwhelmed. When I say a little bit, I must confess I did shed some tears of frustration. So this is me running away from this overwhelming feeling. And I hope that when I finish my presentation, you'll have the opportunity to share if you felt a little bit like me, overwhelmed. That's the basic idea. Okay, so I felt like I was learning a new language. I speak English and I also learned how to speak French. So I've had the experience of being a language learner. And yeah, I felt I had to translate it all. Things that I have been doing as a teacher for 20 years, I had to translate them into a new language. I know what they mean, but now I have to translate them into teachnology. That's something I thought about, teachnology. So this presentation, I want, if you learn something from this presentation, I want us to focus on two main ideas, if that's okay with you. And these two main ideas are the following. And these are I'm gonna read out very calmly and nicely so that they're very clear. So the main idea number one. The first main idea is that technical obstacles are easier to overcome than the lack of communication skills. Technical obstacles are easier to overcome than the lack of communication skills. So, I mean, technical obstacles, like how can I share this, or where can I find this little button that does this and that can be trained or learned. But what cannot be really improved is if you don't have communication skills. And the second thing I want to share with you is that the consequences of communication breakdowns tend to create serious problems that technology cannot solve. So this means sometimes I feel right now that we're all waiting for technology, whatever that means, to solve our problems. But it is us humans who need to solve the problems. You know, it's not like technology is gonna do it all for us. That's what I would like you to learn, okay? So, okay, let's go on. So we have two main ideas and we have 5 guiding questions for this presentation. I'm gonna read out the 5 guiding questions. And I would also like to tell you, and as I told Federica at the very beginning, that I'm going to share this presentation with you, no problem. And you'll find it in the chat.
I already did. So they already.
Oh my goodness, Federica, yes. You're so good at this. Good, good. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so the 5 guiding questions are, so take a deep breath and let's listen to the questions and let's see how they guide us. The first question is, what is it that we miss the most? What is it that we miss the most from our classrooms? What is it? You can answer in the chat if you want. What is it that you miss the most? Think about it. Let's see. And I'm as an English teacher, I like pronouns, so that's why the we is in bold. So I'm trying to also think about, what do you think students miss the most? Not only us, right? So there we go. The second question is, how do we meet students where they are at? How? Because, you know, they're digital citizens, they're digital natives. They are like way beyond my grasp in terms of comprehending the world as it is with the internet. So how can I meet my student and say, hey, I know where you're at? The third very important question is, how can I integrate technology into what I do? In my case, I know that this session is called teaching in the technology in the classroom. In my case, I'm translating this also to technology for college counseling, because it's what I'm doing right now. So there are many positions at schools. I promise you that you will be able to find a way in which you can integrate technology. The fourth question is a very philosophical question. I think Plato would still be proud of me. And this question has to do is, if I had known that this was going to happen, if I had known that this was going to happen, what would I have done differently? And this is regarding technology, and it's also regarding many other aspects of life. What would I have done differently? And what will I embrace so that we can move forward is like the objective. So these are the 5 guiding questions. Are you ready? I hope you are. And let's do this. What is it that we miss the most? Well, I believe that what we miss the most is nonverbal communication. Nonverbal communication in terms of, and you'll see some images I'm going to show you right now. So teachers sometimes know more about their students by observing them than by listening to what they say. So look at this image. Oh my goodness. So that's a classroom, you know. You can see the student on the far left corner, and you can see his body language, and you can know how he's feeling or how he's reacting to you. We really observe our students, and I miss that. I miss knowing, you know, and I also miss the group in itself, right? Like each group has its own personality. So there. And now, how do you shift from this to this, where all you see are these faces, and you know, I like sometimes they have no expression on them, and you're missing out on all this data of, you know, the students and how they move, and you can listen to their voices clearly, you know. So that's what I personally miss out the most, and obviously that if you've been a teacher like I have, you know that you can tell if the students can understand you, right? With how they're looking back at you. You look at it in their eyes. There's like this shiny thing going on when they acknowledge that they're understanding what you're saying. My experience teaching or counseling right now has been almost like a monologue, not a dialogue. A dialogue in this case without words. So look, there's even a difference between this eye and this eye. Those are 2 different students, and you can read what they're understanding or not understanding. So yes, the first thing, so this answers the first question then, which is, what do we miss the most? I miss nonverbal communication, and please feel free to share if you agree or disagree. And I think that although our students miss their friends, I think they miss us. I think they miss our nonverbal communication. In all the Google search pictures I looked for excellent teacher, all the teachers that were on the pictures were moving, like in this case. You know, the teacher is pointing at students. The teacher is acknowledging students with her gaze, okay? There we go. So that's the answer to the first question. That's what I miss the most, nonverbal communication. Now we're going to talk a little bit about the second question, which is, how do we meet them where they are at? So I don't want to scare anybody, but this is a different reality. There will be a before and an after this. So it's really complicated to be a teacher or a counselor or a student or an administrator, and try to, if you want to keep things as they were, that is bound to change at some point. You cannot imitate our other reality in no way. So we're living in a different time and a different space. And so I'm a very curious girl. So what I did is I Googled up internet map. So I'm going to show you what the internet looks like, if that's okay with you. Oh, okay, this is more like reality has changed. So this is the map of the internet 1 that I found. So if you realize this, you realize that our students are lost in space in that way. Like they're everywhere and nowhere. Like your virtual self doesn't even have a nationality. We all are here. We are from different countries, and we are all together in this space, right? That looks a little bit like that. Then I said, no, I am more curious. And I got the map of the internet too. And I think that these two maps really represent how sometimes, like, so where are my students in this nowhere and everywhere at the same time? So this has to do with them being nowhere and everywhere physically in a way, or like virtually, but it also has to do with them being nowhere and everywhere mentally and emotionally. That's what I've been experiencing as well. So how can I solve this paradox of technology and education? The paradox of technology and education is basically, if we think about how we will be remembered in time, I don't know, we should be remembered as the people who had the most interesting, fascinating ideas, right? Because it's the time for connection. You know, like you can access any kind of human knowledge. You know, it's amazing. But at the same time, the paradox is that technology distracts us. It distracts us a lot. Even the fact that I have to look at my face while I'm talking to you right now is distracting. You know, I see myself on the camera and I'm, you know, thinking about that. So there's a paradox there, because you have the time where we're supposed to be more connected than ever and more curious than ever. And at the same time, it's a time where we're very, very disconnected. So how can I find my students in the land of everywhere and nowhere? So this is the geography of everywhere and nowhere. So a good question to ask, not only to students, but also to teachers, is, where are you? So I know it sounds like a silly question, but some students will answer, well, I'm in my bedroom all alone. I'm using my laptop on the bed, and I just want to, you know, I just feel that this is the only space I have to work. Some students will answer, well, I'm in a kitchen and I have my 3 younger siblings running all around me, or dog is barking, or my cat is jumping on me. So the only way these simple questions make sense is if we think about the geography of everywhere and nowhere. Where are you? And how are you? And am I the person who can guide you? Let's not assume that I am the person who can guide you, especially if we refer to where are you in terms of using technology, because they know I was born in 1976. They can tell. And so am I the person who can guide you in this very, very intricate map of life, or am I the person who can just be there for you? So I love this image. Please pay attention to it. This was sent to me by one of my students on a messenger, and she said, "Oh, Miss Lorraine, this is how we feel, right?" The teacher says, "I know these are difficult times. I acknowledge that." And then it's just, however, and then you have like all these tasks and homework and tests and everything, right? And I'd like you guys to take a second with me and think about if this is not exactly the way we feel in terms of what our administrators are asking from us, right? You know, like, oh, teacher, I know these are difficult times. However, and here comes like the spray of everything. So I think it's a good idea to think of the geography of nowhere and everywhere, and to ask ourselves where we sit, and ask, you know, it seems like a simple question, but it's, where are you? Where are you? Do you feel challenged by this? Do you feel uncomfortable? Do you feel comfortable? And so on. So that is question number 2. Oh, by the way, something I've discovered in these last weeks is that students would rather see you challenge yourself and fail than see you not try something new. And I think, and I'm going to do this mirror thing again with administrators, I'd rather see administrators or, you know, people, leaders in charge, try something new than just keep on sticking to what used to work in the other reality. I think I would like that. And so we all know I think most of us know those drawings. And so I always think that Max used to see the monsters, and that the monsters are us, the adults, that we move slowly, that we're a little bit behind. He can tell that we're monsters. So, and the other thing I discovered, these are discoveries that just have happened to me through what I've been doing, is that our students are more comfortable with paradoxes than we imagine. This is a generational thing. For them, truth and not truth, and you know, they're more flexible in their understanding of many things. And so let's dare an experiment. Okay, I'm gonna take a breath. Okay, now let's go on to question number 3. Okay, so question number 3 is how can I integrate technology? So, oh my God, this is so amazing. You can integrate technology in the most very fascinating ways, but you have to be honest with yourself and say, okay, so where am I in terms of my understanding of what I'm doing, of what I want, of how important this is? So you should know that small changes make a significant impact. So don't ask like a super duper complex project of yourself. Just start simple. Start simple. And I am going to give you the 3 examples that I've implemented at my school. So small changes make a significant impact. Start small, and then reflect about what you did, and then repeat if it worked or not, but also give it another go. Like it won't work at the first time, okay? So how can I integrate technology? So step by step is the answer. Okay, so also it's make sure the students can meet goals and can notice their progress. They also need this kind of little by little, you know, gratification with gamification, for example. And P.S., it always takes longer than you think. I thought it would be like 3 seconds, and then no, it took a lot longer. Okay, so these are the 3 examples that I've implemented at my school. I hope they're useful. So in the second semester, right now, what I should be doing is I should be interviewing students from the 10th grade and getting to know them so that we can start career planning, okay? So I thought to myself, oh, that won't happen. And I also thought to myself, what would they really like to imitate reality in terms of me having a one-on-one Zoom meeting with them? How is that going to work, right? They're already tired from being sitting in front of the computer. So what we decided to do, my team of college counselors and I, were a team of 3. We decided to create a professional Instagram account, which means that this Instagram account, they'll be able to copy the link. And the rule is, this is the Instagram account you want the admissions officer to see. So it's crafted towards that purpose. It's like people who have 2 phones, and in one phone they use for their work, and another phone they use for their personal life. This separation is fundamental in technology. So I asked the students to separate their Instagram, and so what I found a little bit, you know, amazing is, like, I'm talking to these 17-year-olds, right? And I said, okay, well, let's make it a game. There's going to be a point system. And I thought they're going to say, Miss Lorraine, what are you thinking about? Why do you think we would be interested in your little point system? So I said, so the profile picture, if it's a picture of you, it's a 1 point. But if it's a picture of you doing something you love, it's 2 points. It's so, you know, I started playing with this kind of goofy idea for the points. but they are so excited. I can't tell you how excited they are because I'm going to check out I'm going to actually assess with a point system. I'm going to assess their professional Instagram account. And this will, I think it's going to be easier for me to get to know them with those accounts instead of imitating the old reality, which would be having an interview one-on-one on Zoom. I think that, or if I do, I will have it after I've, enjoyed their profiles, like, learn more about them. The second example I can give you is that right away, the college counseling thought, okay, so this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna create mini sessions and we're gonna, start recording videos and we're gonna put them on our channel called College Counseling Marvels. And so then we decided, oh, what are we doing? We are the ones who are choosing what the students need. So this change in perspective, like, we started our super interesting topics like how to get a better score on the ACT, right? We discovered that these mini sessions would work a lot better if we asked the students what they want. What do you need to be successful in your college application? So we've actually created a survey. And as actually you're gonna get the QR code of this survey. I'm so excited to say the words QR code. You can't believe how excited I am that I could create a QR code. Okay, so then the next thing is we also learned that teachers didn't know much about the college counseling process, and so we decided to create mini sessions again. And guess what? We asked the teachers as well. What would you like to know? So this simple shift in perspective through surveys, through this is what technology really, really is good for. You can get information, and that's very important in education. Okay, so there's the QR code. So if you have your phone handy, you can go like this, and you can get access to the survey. And if you don't want to do it right now, you can also do that from the presentation that I'll be sharing with you at the end of the session. Okay, so as you remember, we started out with 2 main ideas and 5 guiding questions. And we're already now in question number 4. Okay, so there we go to question number 4. This is about shifting your perspective, what I just said. Students are no longer consumers of technology, they're creators of technology. Teachers should not be consumers of technology, but creators of technology. And this is why it was so important for me to tell you that I was born in '76, because I was a consumer of technology all my life. I watched TV. The content was not created or influenced by me. Okay, so the other advice is do not assume anything, like with the Instagram point system. I'm thinking that the students will not react well. They're going to say, Lorraine is so silly. But guess what? They love the point system. They said, I'm on it. And they said, I want to, I'm ready, I'm excited. And they also found purpose in it because it will be something that they're going to actually link their CV to. And then just experimenting once and again. I strongly recommend that videos are no longer than 5 minutes, like the mini session videos, because even I get bored of more than 5-minute videos. So, and I'm a very curious person. So as I said, we're in this new reality, there's a new time and there's a new space, and 5 minutes is a good number of minutes. Okay, so now, yes. So now actually, now we're going to question number 4. And so yeah, I have a psychic here, and this is like the golden nugget that we're all looking for from this session. It's yeah, think about it. Really, really think about it. Take a deep breath and think about what would you have done differently if you knew this was coming as a teacher. What would you have done differently? I'm going to state a very obvious example, a simple example. I would have bought a new laptop if I knew this was coming, right? I would have paid a little bit more attention to the incredible efforts of the IT department trying to teach us about technology. I would have paid more attention. I would have been less stubborn. And so I'm going to be quiet for around a minute, and I'm going to give you time to reflect. What would you have done differently? And you can share it in the chat. I'll be reading the chat in a little while. I can't read it right now. Okay, so 1 minute of thinking time. Okay, so hopefully that gave you some time to write something on the chat. I'm fascinated. I'll be very interested in reading that. And so I think that this answer we give ourselves about what I would have done differently is a good way. It's a good starting point to what I'm going to do next, because we do know what would I have done differently. Kind of intuitively, we do know what is next in our objectives. So I always tell my students that we all have an integrated, natural, all-free navigating system in our heart and in our mind. Obviously, I am the college counselor, so this is part of my work. So we have this integrated navigating system. Some people like Google Maps, some people like Waze. But what is the use of this astonishing integrated navigating system if we do not know what to answer it when it asks us where we are going? So I want us to connect this thing as what would I have done if I had known, to this idea of now I know that when the Google map in my heart asks me where to, I have a where to go. That's the idea of number 4. Okay, so now, oh, that's light. Now we're gonna go to number 5, which is embracing the way forward. And the word embracing is beautiful because in French it means hugging, you know? So I thought that that was very appropriate in times of social distancing. You know, embracing is what we want. So figure out what you need to learn and who can help you. I cried in front of the computer, I kid you not, with Microsoft Teams, Microsoft Teams tutorials. I cried. And I realized I could write an essay about why I didn't go into computers in my life. But I did learn. I cried, but I learned. So that's important. Embrace the tension between clarity and ambiguity, because we have no other way than to embrace that tension. I love this. It says, practice, not perfection. This I learned from Dr. Holly Ludgate from my course. And yes, practice, not perfection. And finally, it's embrace the power of virtual communities, my friends, like we're doing right now. Embrace the power of virtual communities of teachers and friends, and you know, they are powerful. Technology is amazing. It's flexible. It's incredibly powerful. It helps us with our lifelong learning, teachers, students, administrators, everyone. It fosters inclusive learning. I have seen some changes in my most introverted students. this is where they thrive. It captures your students' attention if you tell them that. By the way, I did my own Instagram, professional Instagram account. And so the students are very curious to see my profile now. It helps us to work with others, and you can, and we are improving our students' life. So, I mean, what is there better than that? And this is, I'm almost done here. It's, if you're gonna be passionate about something, be passionate about learning. I think that's the conclusion to all of this. And there you go. Don't forget to close all the tabs in your head too. I think this is the last session of the day. So if you've been participating and everything, yeah, don't forget to close all the tabs in your head. And thank you. That's all. Now we can go on to the questions. Federica, could you help me read some questions from the chat, please?
Yes, of course. Okay, so let's have a look. Okay, so Maria Villota, I don't know if I pronounce it properly. She asked if shorter videos are also successful when you talk about the videos, the 5 minutes video.
Absolutely. Can you see me on the screen? Can you see me, Lorraine? Federica?
Yes.
Okay, can you see me on the screen?
Can you stop sharing your screen? You just put on stop sharing.
There. Okay, there we go. Thank you.
Now I can see you perfectly. Good.
Thank you very much. That was what I was wondering if I had done right. Yeah, shorter videos are as successful if you. That's the new idea. You have to plan them well. You have to write a good script. And the other thing is, shorter videos do not have to be transmitted in real time. You can have like a channel where they're there forever. So it doesn't matter if you, it's better if you have 5 5-minute videos that students can access than having, you know, like a 25-minute long video. So you can chop the content into bits and pieces. And this is what we're doing also for the, teachers, by the way. We're doing some short videos that they can access on their own channel, the teacher channel, college counseling and teachers channel. Okay, Federica, do you have any other questions?
Argentina Rodriguez, she's asking whether we can share the last slide, the slide before the last one. So I already shared the presentation with you. I will do it again so you can have the whole presentation.
Yes,
does anybody have any? Yes, please.
Oh, that last slide, previous to the last one, that's my contact, so you can contact me anytime if you have any questions or doubts. And the other thing is, in the references, I shared a video from Dr. Holly Nugget that you can check out, and it has 5 experts in e-learning, and it's a very good video. So that's on the presentation that already has been shared.
Perfect. So is there anybody else that have a question? Because here they shared a lot of thoughts, what you asked them to have the 1 minute time to think about what you asked them.
Okay.
But from now, I can't read any other questions. So if you have any other question, you can either raise your hand from the participant list so I can see who wants to talk, or you can activate your microphone, or you can even write in the chat and we will answer all your questions.
Hi.
Hi.
This is my last session. I've been in sessions all day, and it's I want to congratulate you because it was a really fun one. So thank you for that. I do want to ask to pick your mind a little bit, because the Instagram thing that you did with your students actually sounds like a really good idea with the older kids. And do you have any other ideas that you would like to share with us that have worked because I work with all of high school, and it seems for me, since I started teaching, that we're required to upload, to share videos with them. And the videos, like, you need a lot of creativity because we're required to have 10-minute videos, or so we do have to cover the content in a way where they don't get bored. And so do you have any other like fun ideas or more creative ideas that you could share with us so that it could help me out at least?
Oh, definitely. So I can also share with you guys the point system I have on an Excel sheet, you know, just as an example. But I think you can apply that point system. As I said, I really thought that the students wouldn't go along with me because there's no price, you know, it's just points, right? It's just out of my imagination. So I think you could apply the point system to anything in terms of having the students create the videos. So if they make people laugh, you know, like my experience right now has been, I have received so much feedback. I love research in education. So I have received the most delicious feedback from students and from teachers alike. You know, some of them even, you know, confessed on some emails. They said, I must confess, I knew nothing about the college counseling process. I knew nothing about what you're doing in your office, Lorraine, you know. And how important is it that teachers know about this? I don't know. So it's been a learning experience for sure. So I'll share the point system and just imitate it, and then just ask students, how can I make the videos more interesting? They'll come up with ideas. They will.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anybody else? No.
So, okay. So I really hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed preparing it for you, and I hope that you have an excellent evening, morning, or an excellent time.
Thank you very much, Lorraine, for your conference. I think everybody wrote what I thought, that your conference was amazing. Someone said you're a superstar. I 100% agree. Your enthusiasm is so contagious. I really loved your conference. And thank you everybody for being here. I hope you really enjoyed this first day of BEONLINE International Summit. And I hope to see you tomorrow. Thank you very much.